The diary that predicted a tragedy, then disappeared. Hello guys, today we will know about the city of London in the year of our Lord 1665. A time of heavy mists and narrow timbered streets. Please settle yourselves into your blankets and find a place of deep rest. This narration is meant to help you drift away into a long and peaceful sleep as we walk through the cooling shadows of a city long ago. There is a small mystery, a leather-bound book that spoke of things to come. But for now, we only watch the fog roll off the Thames and feel the quiet of the evening air. The city is very old, and the wooden houses lean toward one another over the cobbled lanes. The timber frames are black with age and soot, and the plaster is white in the moonlight. Every window is small, with leaded glass that reflects the dim glow of a single candle. The air smells of sea coal and river mud, and the distant sound of the tide. It is a rhythmic sound, a slow and steady pulse that guides the city into its nightly slumber. In the morning, the light arrives slowly through the heavy gray clouds. The sun does not rush. It creeps over the rooftops of St. Paul's, the great stone cathedral that stands as a silent guardian. The bells begin to chime low and resonant, calling the people to wakefulness. But today, we move slowly. Our steps are soft on the cold stones. There is no hurry in our hearts, only the steady breath of the morning. The ordinary people begin their day in the dimness of their small rooms. A family stirs in a house near Cheapside. The room is cramped, but it is warm from the embers of last night's fire. The walls are hung with simple woolens to keep out the draft. There is a smell of toasted bread, and the dry scent of rushes scattered on the floor. The father rises first. His joints are stiff, his movements are deliberate and quiet. He pulls on his breeches of coarse brown wool. They are worn at the knees from years of honest labor. He dons a linen shirt, yellowed by time and many washings in the river water. His waistcoat is buttoned tight against the morning chill. He moves to the hearth and stirs the gray ashes with a rusted iron poker. A small orange glow remains, a tiny spark that has survived the long night. He watches it and breathes softly. The mother wakes the children with a gentle touch on their shoulders. They sleep three to a bed for warmth, tucked under heavy quilts of patched fabric. The children do not shout. They whisper in the gray light. They know the routine of the morning. They know the chores that await them in the stillness. They dress in simple tunics and wrap their feet in thick stockings of gray yarn. Breakfast is a quiet affair, served on a plain wooden table that has been scrubbed white. There is a loaf of rye bread, dark and dense, and a pot of thin porridge made from oats and water. They eat with wooden spoons. The sound of wood hitting wood is rhythmic and soothing. Clack, clack, clack. They drink small beer from pewter mugs. The liquid is cool and refreshing. It settles the stomach for the day ahead. Outside, the street begins to breathe. A water carrier passes by with two heavy buckets slung across his shoulders. His boots make a dull thud on the cobbles. Thud, thud, thud. He does not speak. He only moves with the weight of the water. A dog barks once in a distant alley, then falls silent. The fog is still thick, clinging to the corners of the buildings. hiding the sharp edges of the world. The father sets out for his workshop. He is a maker of buttons, a small trade for a quiet man. He walks with his head down, observing the patterns of the stones. Some are round and smooth, others are jagged and dark. He knows every turning of the lane. He knows the smell of the tanner's shop and the scent of the bakery where the first loaves are being pulled from the oven. The bakery smells of yeast and warmth. It is a comforting scent that fills the lungs. The baker is covered in a fine dusting of white flour. He moves like a ghost in the steam of his shop. He places the loaves on wooden racks to cool. The steam rises in long, slow curls, disappearing into the rafters. The heat from the oven radiates into the street, warming the father's face as he passes. In the market stalls, the vendors are setting out their wares. There are baskets of cabbages, green and tightly furled. There are sacks of dried peas and lentils. The colors are muted earthy browns and soft grays. A woman arranges a row of plucked chickens on a wooden board. Her hands are red from the cold. She moves them with a steady, practiced rhythm. The children of the house have their own tasks. The eldest boy carries a basket to the communal well. He waits his turn in the line. The iron handle of the pump is cold in his hand. He pulls it up and down, up and down. The water flows in a steady stream, splashing into his bucket with a hollow sound. He watches the ripples, circles moving outward, fading into the edges of the wood. The younger daughter stays with her mother. She learns to spin the wool. The spinning wheel hums a low, a vibrating note. It is a song of patience. The wool pulls through her fingers, soft and lanolin rich. She watches the spindle turn, round and round, a dizzying, peaceful motion. The thread grows longer, a thin line of silver gray, connecting the past to the present. As the sun rises higher, the city becomes a tapestry of soft noises. The clatter of a wooden cart, the iron-rimmed wheels grinding against the stones, the horse's hooves making a rhythmic beat, clip-clop, clip-clop. The driver does not use a whip. He speaks to the horse in a low murmur, a language shared between man and beast. The horse understands and leans into the harness. The shops are small and dark with heavy shutters that are hooked to the ceiling. Inside, the air is still. A haberdasher counts his pins, dropping them into a tin box, one by one. Tink, tink, tink. A shoemaker pulls a waxed thread through a piece of leather. The sound is a soft rasp, a sigh of material being joined together. He works by the light of a small window, his spectacles perched on the end of his nose. Midday. The families gather again for a simple meal, perhaps a bit of cold bacon left from the Sunday joint, or a bowl of vegetable pottage. The pottage has leeks and onions and carrots, simmered until they are soft and tender. It is a warm bowl of comfort. The steam rises into the air, blurring the faces of the children. They eat in silence, listening to the wind in the chimney. The afternoon brings a slow rain, a fine mist that turns the cobbles into mirrors. The city reflects the gray sky. The puddles are shallow and still. A charcoal burner moves through the lane. His face is smudged with black dust. He sells his fuel from a small wagon. The charcoal clinks like glass as he measures it out. It is the fuel of the poor, the heat that keeps the night at bay. In the charity school, a group of boys sits on hard wooden benches. They hold slate boards and pieces of chalk. The master speaks in a low, monotonous voice. He recites the Psalms, and the boys repeat them back. A chorus of young voices, rising and falling like the tide. The chalk scratches on the slate, a dry, rhythmic sound. They learn their letters in the dim light, A, B, C. The streets are filled with the labor of the ordinary. A maidservant scrubs the front step of a merchant's house. She uses a heavy brush and a bucket of sandy water, back and forth, back and forth. The stone turns from black to a pale, wet gray. She wipes her brow with her apron and continues her work. Her movements are steady, a dance of necessity. A chimney sweep walks by, a small boy with soot-stained clothes. He carries a bundle of birch twigs. His eyes are bright in his dark face. He looks up at the towering chimneys, the brick stacks that reach for the clouds. He knows the secrets of the flues, the hidden pathways of the smoke. He moves quietly, a shadow among shadows, near the river. The docks are a place of slow movement. The great ships from the east are moored in the mud. Their masts are like a forest of stripped trees. The ropes creak in the wind, a low, groaning sound. Sailors sit on the wooden piers, mending nets with long wooden needles. The twine is rough and smells of salt. They work with steady hands, knotting the future, the diary. The book mentioned in the whispers of the wind sits on a shelf in a small room. It is covered in dust. Its pages are parchment, thick and yellowed. The ink is faded to a soft brown. It tells of a summer that will be too hot, and a sickness that will come on the wings of the wind. But the people do not know this yet. They only know the rhythm of their work and the comfort of their homes. As the afternoon fades into evening, the light turns to amber. The sun sinks behind the hills of Highgate, casting long, thin shadows across the city. The lamplighter begins his rounds. He carries a long pole with a flickering wick at the end. He reaches up to the iron lanterns, and one by one, a small yellow flame appears. It is a necklace of light, stretching down the street. The families return to their hearths. The father closes his workshop. He sweeps the floor of his shop, gathering the tiny scraps of bone and metal. He puts his tools in their wooden chest, clicking the latch shut. It is a sound of completion. He walks home in the cooling air, his breath making a faint cloud in front of him. He is tired, but it is a good tiredness. The mother prepares the final meal of the day, a dish of stewed apples and a crust of bread. The scent of the apples is sweet and heavy, like a blanket of sugar over the room. The children help to clear the table. They move with soft feet, careful not to disturb the peace of the evening. The fire is built up one last time. The logs crackle softly, releasing the scent of pine and oak. They sit by the fire for a time. The father tells a story of his own grandfather, a story of a time when the woods were deeper and the winters were colder. His voice is a low murmur, a soft vibration that lulls the children. They lean against one another, their eyes growing heavy. The firelight dances on the walls, creating shapes that shift and change. The city outside is settling. The noise of the carts has stopped. The horses are in their stables, chewing on sweet hay. The sound of their chewing is a rhythmic, grinding noise, peaceful and constant. The stable hands have gone to their beds, sleeping in the loft above the animals. The warmth of the horses rises through the floorboards, a natural heat. The bells of the city strike the hour of 8, slow, deep tolls that vibrate in the chest. It is the time for the covering of the fires, the curfew. The word comes from the French couvre-feu, to cover the fire. The mother uses a metal dome to shield the embers, preserving the heat for the morning. The room grows darker. The shadows lengthen. The children climb into their bed. The linen sheets are cool and crisp. They pull the heavy quilts up to their chins. They listen to the sound of the wind in the eaves, a low whistle that sings them to sleep. The father and mother share a final mug of warm cider. The spices, cinnamon and nutmeg, scent the air. They speak in whispers about the cost of grain and the strength of the roof. The diary on the shelf remains closed. Its predictions are silent. The tragedy it speaks of is a distant cloud, not yet arrived. The city is safe in the arms of the night. The fog has returned, thicker now, wrapping the houses in a white cocoon. The river flows on, dark and silent, carrying the dreams of the city out to the sea. We move further into the heart of the night. The cobblestones are wet and gleaming. No one walks here now, only the watchman with his lantern and his bell. He walks with a slow, heavy gait. His voice is a low chant. 12 o'clock and a fair night. All is well. His voice carries through the empty lanes, a reassurance to those who sleep. All is well. In the small houses, the breathing of the sleepers is the only sound, a chorus of soft, steady inhalations and long, slow exhalations. The heartbeats of the people are slow, synchronized with the pulse of the city. There is no worry here, only the deep restorative rest of the weary. The work of the day is done. The work of tomorrow is a long way off. The timber frames of the houses creak occasionally, a settling of wood and stone. It is a natural sound, like a giant sighing in its sleep. The rats move quietly in the cellars, seeking scraps of grain. Their feet make a tiny pitter-patter, a sound so small it is almost silence. The city belongs to the shadows now, and the shadows are gentle. The great stone walls of the Tower of London stand cold and firm. The ravens are perched on the battlements, their black feathers tucked tight. They do not move. They are stone-like in their stillness. The sentries on the walls stand with their pikes, their eyes fixed on the horizon. They see nothing but the gray mist and the flickering light of the stars. High above the clouds, the stars are bright and constant. They have watched over the city for 1,000 years. They do not change. They offer a cold, beautiful light that does not reach the narrow streets, but it is there, a canopy of eternity over the temporary lives of men. The moon is a thin crescent, a silver hook in the velvet sky. As the hours of the night pass, the silence becomes deeper. It is a heavy silence, like a thick wool blanket. It presses against the windows. It fills the rooms. It slows the blood. The fire in the hearth is now only a memory of warmth, a faint scent of ash and smoke. The air in the room is cool, perfect for a deep and dreamless sleep. The diary, forgotten in the corner, holds its breath. It knows of the heat that will come in the summer of 1666. It knows of the sparks that will fly in Pudding Lane. It knows how the timber houses will catch like dry tinder. But that is another time, a time that has not yet been born tonight. There is only the damp, the cold, and the peace. The people of London sleep on the shoemaker, the baker, the button maker, the charcoal burner. They are all equal in the night. Their titles and their trades are laid aside. They are only souls in repose, resting their tired limbs, healing their spirits for the coming of the light. The city is a cradle, rocking slowly in the hands of time. The mist begins to drift through the keyholes, a thin, ethereal finger of white. It touches the floorboards. It curls around the bedposts. It is the breath of the river visiting the people in their dreams. It brings the scent of the sea and the memory of distant lands. It is a cooling touch, a soothing presence in the dark. Somewhere in the distance, a lone owl hoots, a long, low, melancholy sound. Hoo, hoo. It is a call to the night, a recognition of the stillness. The sound fades into the fog, leaving the silence even deeper than before. The world is a quiet place, a place of soft edges and blurred lines. There is nothing to fear, only the night. The bells of the church strike the hour of 3. The sound is muted by the mist, a dull, heavy thud of iron 3 times. It is the deepest part of the night, the time when the world is closest to the stars, the time when the dreams are most vivid. The people turn in their sleep, a rustle of linen, a sigh, and then stillness. We walk back toward the river, our footsteps making no sound on the wet stones. The water is high now, lapping against the wooden pilings of the bridge. Splash, suck, splash. It is the sound of the earth breathing, the rhythm of the tides, the movement of the moon. Everything is connected, everything is at rest. The diary remains, its leather cover cold to the touch. It is a silent witness to a life lived in the shadows of history. A life of simple things, of bread and wool and fire. A life that is long gone, but remains here, in the quiet of our minds, as we drift further and further away, into the mists of the past. The light will come again, but not for many hours. There is no need to think of the morning. There is no need to think of the work, the chores, the noise. There is only the now, the soft, dark, peaceful now. The city of London is a painting in grays and blacks, a masterpiece of silence, a sanctuary of sleep. The shadows are your friends. They wrap around you like a heavy cloak. They protect you from the world. They guide you toward the center of your own rest. The air is still. The room is quiet. The world is far away. You are safe. You are warm. You are drifting down into the soft velvet night. The diary's pages do not turn. They stay still, resting in the dark. Its secrets are safe. For the tragedy is not tonight. Tonight is for the ordinary. Tonight is for the small. Tonight is for the peace of the soul. The heartbeat of the city is slow, so slow, almost a stop, just a gentle, rhythmic thud, thud, thud. The fog is the last thing we see, a wall of white that hides the houses, the streets, the river. It is a curtain falling on the day, a final, gentle closing of the eyes. The world is gone. There is only the breath, the slow, steady breath of a city and a person. Peace, as the bells strike 4. The sound is barely a whisper, a ghostly reminder of time. But time does not matter here, in the long, slow shadows of 1665. There is only the quiet, the deep, the endless, quiet sleep now, sleep, sleep, sleep. The cobbles are cold. The mist is soft. The fire is out. The night is long, and you are resting so deeply, so peacefully, in the heart of the old city, where the diary waits, and the tragedy is still a dream, a distant, forgotten dream. In the quiet of the night, the timbered walls are strong. They have stood for 100 years. They will stand for a few more. They hold the heat of the day in their grain, a faint, lingering warmth that radiates into the rooms. The families are tucked away, like birds in a nest, safe from the wind, safe from the rain, safe in the dark. The River Thames is a road of glass, reflecting the lanterns on the bridge. The light is distorted by the ripples, long, shimmering ribbons of yellow and gold. They dance a slow, graceful dance, never stopping, never rushing, just moving with the weight of the water toward the sea, toward the end of all things. In the quietest corner of the city, a small cat moves across a rooftop. Its paws make no sound on the tiles. It is a shadow within a shadow. It stops to look at the moon, its eyes glowing like 2 small lanterns. Then it moves on, disappearing into the chimney pots, a silent guardian of the night. The diary on its shelf is a bridge to another time, but we do not need to cross it tonight. We stay on this side, in the comfort of the familiar, in the rhythm of the breath, in the softness of the bed. The city is a lullaby, a song of stone and wood, sung by the wind for the weary. Sleep is a deep well, and you are falling slowly into it. The water is warm and clear. You sink through the layers of the day, leaving the noise behind, leaving the light behind, reaching the floor of the well, where it is dark and still and perfect. There is no movement here, only the being, the rest. The bells of St. Paul's are silent now. The watchman has finished his round. The city is held in a state of grace, a moment of pure, undisturbed existence. The history of the ordinary is the most beautiful history of all. The history of the quiet, the history of the sleep, the history of the night. We leave the city now, moving back through the fog, back through the centuries, leaving the button maker and the baker to their dreams, leaving the diary to its shelf, leaving the year 1665 to the shadows. The narration is fading. The voice is becoming a whisper. Nothingness, a breath. The air is cool. The bed is warm. The heart is slow. The mind is still. The story is done, but the peace remains. It stays with you. A constant companion in the dark. A promise of safety. A promise of rest. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The morning is a lifetime away. The light is a myth. The world is a memory. There is only this, the soft, slow, rhythmic peace of the night, of the city, of the soul, drifting, drifting, drifting away into the long, quiet sleep. The streets are empty. The houses are dark. The river is silent. The diary is closed. The tragedy is far, and the rest is near, so very near, just a breath away, just a heartbeat away, in the deep, soft velvet dark of the old city. May your dreams be of quiet lanes and gentle mists, of warm hearths and soft wool, of the slow pulse of a world that knew how to rest. You are part of that world now. You are part of the silence. You are part of the night. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The end of the day. The end of the work. The end of the thought. The beginning of the dream. The beginning of the rest. The beginning of the peace. Everything is as it should be. All is well. All is well. All is well. I can tell you more about the daily life of 17th century Londoners or explore a different historical setting for your next rest. Would you like me to describe the quiet routine of a rural village during the same period? The diary that predicted a tragedy, then disappeared, continued. Hello guys, today we will know more about the city of London in the year 1665. As you sink deeper into your pillow, let the heaviness of your limbs carry you back to that quiet gray world. We are still in the narrow lanes, where the shadows are long and the air is cool, and the mystery of the diary remains tucked away in a dusty corner, like a secret waiting for a morning that has not yet come. The sun has fully risen now, but it is a pale, watery sun, filtered through the smoke of 10,000 sea-coal fires. The light does not glare. It only softens the edges of the timber houses, making the world look like a charcoal drawing. We walk slowly, our boots making a rhythmic, dull sound on the damp earth and stone. Step, step, step. There is no reason to hurry. The day unfolds with the steady patience of a turning wheel. In the center of the city, near the Great Exchange, the merchants begin to gather. They are dressed in heavy cloaks of dark camlet or velvet. Their collars are stiff with starch. They do not shout. They speak in low, measured tones, discussing the arrival of ships from the Levant or the price of silk from the East. They lean against the stone pillars, their hands tucked into their sleeves for warmth. The murmur of their voices is like the hum of bees, a soothing, constant drone. Down by the river, the watermen are calling out to passengers, but their voices are tired and soft. Oars, oars, they cry, a repetitive, melodic call that echoes under the arches of London Bridge. The bridge is a city unto itself, with houses and shops built right upon the stone piers. The water rushes beneath the arches with a powerful rhythmic gurgle, a sound of nature trapped in a cage of stone. We listen to the water, letting its consistency pull us toward a deeper calm. Ordinary women are out in the lanes now, wearing kirtles of thick, honest frieze. They carry baskets of laundry to the communal drying grounds. The smell of lye and wood ash follows them, a clean, sharp scent that cuts through the dampness. They hang the linens on wooden lines, the white fabric snapping softly in the breeze. Flap, flap, flap. It is the sound of a heartbeat, a reminder of the simple tasks that hold a life together. The children who are not at school are helping their parents. A small boy sits on a low stool in a cobbler's shop. He is tasked with sorting the wooden pegs. He moves them from one bowl to another. Clink, clink, clink. His mind wanders, but his hands continue their work. He watches the dust motes dancing in a shaft of light. They swirl in slow, graceful circles, rising and falling in the still air of the shop. In the apothecary's shop, the air is heavy with the scent of dried herbs, rosemary, thyme, lavender, and the earthy smell of valerian root. The apothecary is a quiet man with stained fingers. He grinds a handful of dried leaves in a stone mortar. The rhythmic scraping of the pestle is a lullaby of industry. Scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. He is making a tonic for sleep, a remedy for those whose minds are too busy with the cares of the world. A woman stands at her doorway, shaking out a rag rug. The dust flies out into the street, catching the light for a moment before settling back onto the cobbles. She leans against the doorframe, watching a stray cat pick its way carefully over a puddle. Her eyes are heavy. She has been up since the first bell, but her work is nearly done for the morning. She breathes in the cool air, feeling the stillness of the neighborhood. The houses are built so close together that neighbors can lean out of their windows and shake hands. The upper stories jut out over the street, creating a tunnel of wood and plaster. It feels safe here, enclosed, as if the city is a giant, ancient forest made of oak and brick. The wind cannot reach us in these narrow ways. Only a soft, cooling draft that carries the scent of the bakery and the river. The diary, the one we spoke of, lies in a room above a tallow chandler's shop. The shop smells of rendered fat and beeswax, a thick, comforting scent of light. The diary's owner was a man of quiet habits. He sat at his desk every night, writing in a hand that was small and precise. He wrote of the weather, the birds he saw, and the strange, dark feeling that the summer would bring a change. But for now, the book stays shut, and the candles are not yet lit. Lunchtime in the city is a time of quiet transition. Workers sit on the wooden steps of the church, breaking pieces of hard cheese and dark bread. They drink from leather jacks filled with small beer. The beer is weak and cold. It tastes of hops and history. They do not talk much. They simply watch the world go by, the horses twitching their ears, the pigeons fluttering down to find a stray crumb. The horses are large and slow, their muscles rippling under coats of brown and gray. They pull the heavy wagons filled with barrels of ale or sacks of coal. The harness leather creaks, a slow, rhythmic groan that matches the turning of the wheels. The horses know the way. They do not need the driver's guidance. They are part of the city's slow blood, moving the weight of the world from one place to another. In the afternoon, the light turns to a soft pewter color. The clouds are thick and low, promising a gentle rain. The city prepares for the moisture. People move their wares further back into the shops. The charcoal burner covers his cart with a piece of oiled cloth. The sound of the rain begins as a tiny patter tap, tap, tap against the leaded glass. It is a cooling sound, a sound that washes away the dust and the noise. We find ourselves in a small garden behind a merchant's house. It is a quiet square of earth surrounded by brick walls. There are herbs growing in neat rows, sage and hyssop and mint. The rain falls on the leaves, making them bow their heads. The scent of wet earth rises up, a deep, ancient smell that reminds us of the ground beneath the stones. The world is old, and we are small, and everything is at peace. The children are coming home from their chores. Their boots are muddy. Their faces are flushed with the cool air. They sit by the small coal fire, taking off their wet stockings. The steam rises from the wool, a soft white cloud that smells of sheep and rain. Their mother gives them a bowl of warm milk, sweetened with a little honey. They drink it slowly, feeling the warmth spread from their chests to their toes. The father returns from his work at the docks. He has been counting crates of spices, nutmeg and cloves and pepper. The scent of the Orient is trapped in his clothes, a warm, exotic perfume that fills the small room. He sits in his high-backed chair, his feet resting on a braided rug. He is tired, but his mind is beginning to quiet. The rhythm of the counting is still in his head, 1 to 3, and then silence. The evening bells begin to ring. They are slower now, more resonant. They call the city to its evening prayers, but the sound is more like a reminder to rest. The great bell of Bow Church strikes, a deep, silver note that travels through the fog. It vibrates in the air, a long, fading sound that stays in the ear for a long time after the bell is still. Hum, hum, hum. As the darkness gathers, the diary seems to glow slightly on its shelf, as if the words inside are trying to keep warm. The man who wrote it is gone now, but his thoughts remain. He wrote of a great fire. He wrote of a city purified by flame, but that is a story for a different time. Tonight, the city is damp and cool and safe. The flame is only in the hearth, and it is small and controlled and friendly. The lamplighter is out again, his pole reaching up like a finger of light. He moves with a steady, practiced gait. He does not look at the houses. He only looks at the lanterns, ensuring that each one has its flame. The yellow light reflects in the wet cobbles, creating a path of gold for us to follow. The path leads nowhere, and that is fine. We are happy to simply walk slowly and breathe. The shops are closing their shutters now. The heavy wood bangs shut, clack, clack, clack. It is the sound of the city putting itself to bed. The locks are turned. The iron bolts are slid into place. The streets are becoming empty. The only sound is the occasional splash of water from a roof spout and the distant, low moan of the wind in the chimneys. The family in the house near Cheapside is preparing for the night. They move with slow, deliberate motions. There is no need for words. They have lived this day 1,000 times, and they will live it 1,000 more. The mother sweeps the hearth one last time. The father checks the latch on the window. The children are already half asleep in their shared bed. Their breathing is a soft, synchronized rhythm. The bed is made of wood and rope with a thick mattress filled with straw and lavender. It is firm and supportive. The sheets are made of heavy linen, cool to the touch. The blankets are made of thick wool, woven by hand on a loom in the countryside. They are heavy, pressing down on the body with a comforting weight. It is like being held by the earth itself. The diary is now completely hidden in the shadows. It is as if it has disappeared. It has done its work for the day. It has held the memories of the ordinary, and now it rests, like the people, like the city, like the river. The mystery of its predictions is a quiet one. It does not demand to be solved. It only asks to be remembered as we drift closer to the edge of sleep. The watchman's bell is a lonely sound in the night, past 9 o'clock, and a cold, rainy night. He cries, his voice is a low baritone, a sound that anchors the world. He is the guardian of the silence. He ensures that the peace is not broken. He walks past the darkened windows, a solitary figure in a world of sleepers. His lantern is a tiny sun in the vast, wet dark. We are floating now, away from the streets, away from the houses, away from the year 1665. We are rising above the city, seeing the thousands of chimneys, the winding river, the dark mass of the cathedral. It is all so still, so quiet, so perfect. The city is a jewel box, and the night is the velvet lining. The history of the world is not made of wars and kings. It is made of these quiet moments, of bread and rain and the sound of a bell. It is made of the people who slept and woke and worked and rested. They are our ancestors in the night. They are the ones who taught us how to find the peace in the dark. We listen to their breathing, and we find our own. The diary is a ghost now, a whisper in the wind, a shadow on the wall. It tells us that even when tragedy is coming, there is still the tonight. There is still the warmth of the quilt. There is still the safety of the room. There is still the slow, steady, rhythmic peace. We do not need to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow is a world away. Tonight is for the rest. The fog has filled the entire city now. It is a sea of white hiding the ground, hiding the sky. We are floating in a cloud of pure, soft silence. There is no direction. There is no time. There is only the sensation of being, the sensation of falling into a deep, restorative, dreamless sleep. The city is gone. The diary is gone. The world is gone. Only the breath remains, in and out, in and out, like the tide of the Thames, like the swing of the pendulum, like the heartbeat of the earth. You are resting, you are safe, you are deep, 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 In the heart of the long, quiet, beautiful night, 1665 is a lullaby, and you are the one who is listening. Sleep now. The bells are silent. The rain has stopped. The world is at rest. The diary is a memory, and the night is yours. Sleep, sleep, sleep into the soft, dark velvet silence of the long ago and the now and the forever. Would you like me to continue this narration with a focus on the quiet winter nights in a 17th century manor house? Or perhaps explore the soft sounds of a medieval library?